This is CTV News with Nafisa Kareem.
Last year it was this warm this early.
I don't recall it being this hot ever in May.
That's why we last minute decided to come camping, because we figured the fire ban was probably coming.
An early blast of summer, how people are making the most of the heat, and the warning from wildfire officials.
This is robotic feeding arm because there's a student in our district that have problem controlling the arm muscle to scoop the food.
How a group of high school students are turning school projects into impactful inventions for their classmates. Plus, Adam finds out how a musician who lost the ability to perform wrote a song inspiring others to never give up hope. Later on the Sawatsky Sign-Off. Good evening and thank you for joining us. Dozens of temperature records fell over the weekend as beaches and parks were abuzz with Islanders enjoying an early taste of summer-like weather. While many frolicked in the sun, the BC Wildfire Service is already warning of early campfire bans. CTV's Andy Garland has more now on how people are making the most of the weather.
The long, hot, dry spell we are experiencing on Vancouver Island had these campers staying at Little Qualicum Falls wanting to have a campfire when they can.
That's why we last minute decided to come camping, because we figured the fire ban was probably coming soon.
And they were right. The Coastal Fire Centre is in the process of drafting an open burning ban for later this week.
It will very likely include all three categories of fire, so that will be campfire and Category 2 backyard burning and Category 3 industrial burning.
The Coastal Fire Centre adds the warm, drying trend over the past several weeks has contributed to their decision.
As our indices rise, we check them on a daily basis, and we have now reached that level where we do need to implement some open burning prohibitions.
Yesterday, several daytime highs were broken on Vancouver Island, in Comox, Nanaimo, Port Alberni, Qualicum Beach, Tofino, and Victoria.
Temperatures in Victoria were almost 10 degrees above average through the course of the weekend.
The Victoria Harbour recorded a high of 26.9 degrees yesterday, breaking the old record by nearly 2 degrees, which was recorded in 1898.
To break a record that has lasted for over 100 years is really, really impressive.
These moms in Nanaimo were enjoying a day at the lake with their newborns today, where temperatures reached the high 20s.
I don't think last year it was this warm this early.
I don't recall it being this hot ever in May.
Boaters who are launching from Sprout Lake Boat Launch this afternoon don't recall either when it was this warm this early.
We would be out on the lake, just not dressed like this, comfortable, sunscreen, making sure we're not getting burnt, so it's pretty early.
The warming trend is expected to continue for the next couple of days, with the potential of more records being set today. Andy Garland, CTV News, the Alberni Valley.
The community of Langford is grieving the sudden passing of a longtime city councillor. Lillian Szpak was first elected to Langford Council in 2002 and spent more than 2 decades in the role. In a statement, the city of Langford says Szpak passed away on Saturday from natural causes. Mayor Scott Goodmanson says Szpak showed up for her community with conviction, compassion, and a deep respect for residents.
She was a leader, she was a mentor, and a friend.
The mother and grandmother has been a resident of Langford since 1993 and served on various committees and volunteer roles prior to her time in council chambers. Szpak is also remembered as a mentor by members of the community.
Courageous, she was feisty and punchy when she needed to be. When her community needed that from her, she was able to deliver all the time. She was articulate. Her communication skills were incredibly strong, so she could always clearly and empathetically say what the community needed her to say in a public meeting, and it just helped us make good decisions together.
A statement from her family says she was loved by her family and her community deeply, and she burned bright until the very end. Flags have been lowered to honor the late councillor. Lillian Szpak was 73 years old. Some high school students on the West Shore are reimagining what robots can do, and the results are making a huge difference in the daily lives of their peers. As CTV's Brendan Strain reports, the Belmont students aren't just learning new skills, they're giving a boost to others.
The robotics program at Belmont Secondary School launched at the beginning of this school year.
Next thing is to solder now after this.
Mr. McManus oversees the program. He is also married to a speech-language pathologist working within the Sault School District.
She kind of has a good understanding of kind of the struggles that some kids have with accessibility.
And that's what makes this program different, being labeled as a maker's club.
I'm currently working with 3D modeling.
So instead of creating robots to battle it out in a ring,
This is robotic feeding arm because there's a student in our district that have problem controlling the arm muscle to scoop the food.
these kids are creating devices that their peers within the district with cognitive or physical disabilities can use that will improve their lives, as well as their educational experience.
We have a heart that we want to help the society, to change the society more, to make it better and everybody have freedom.
I used to play a lot with like the dog toys. I used to have my own dog. I used to walk it around.
These students are also adapting toys purchased at secondhand stores throughout the West Shore to be used by younger students in the district with physical disabilities.
So like when I press this, it spins the toy.
The toys end up in a lending library that all teachers in SD62 has access to. The Sault School District is made up of 14,000 students. Over 2,500 of those students receive individualized education supports.
For these kids, if they want an accessible toy, they can be hundreds, $200, $300 just for a simple toy. And we're doing it for $3-4.
First, think about how we're gonna change it, if we're gonna attach a button, or if it's broken.
It can be a time-consuming task, often leading to these students needing to rebuild the internal guts of the toy.
We work Fridays after school from like 2:30 to 4-ish.
The feeding arm took roughly 4 months to perfect, although these kids say when they see the joy in the faces of the students using their devices, all those hours were worth it.
It makes me feel like I'm helping the people and making their life better.
It really just triggered my heart deeply that I feel so happy everybody can have the equal chance to do whatever they want.
Like I've made a contribution to the society.
What began as a simple after-school robotics program has now turned into a labor of love for these students, knowing that their efforts are making a huge difference in the lives of their fellow students within the Sault School District. Brendan Strain, CTV News, Langford.
2 years after a fire ripped through Telegraph Cove, travelers are returning to one of the North Island's most beautiful and popular places. If you've ever been to Telegraph Cove, you might think this is a before photo, but it's not. Much of the resort has been restored to its former glory following an electrical fire on New Year's Eve in 2024. The restaurant and pub are opening in the next 3 weeks. There isn't a timeline yet for when the Whale Interpretive Center will be ready to go.
After the fire, we were hearing from people everywhere in the world. And there's something special about it. I'm not going to guess as to exactly what it is. I think it's a few factors. But people love this place. And that's a huge inspiration to us. And after the fire, we decided it was our responsibility to put it back to where it was, the way people liked it.
The first visitors arrived a few days ago, and the resort's co-owner says he's never seen so many people on an opening weekend. The Premier is sharing his disappointment today following the Prime Minister's tariff relief announcement that didn't include any support for the softwood lumber industry.
I know we're a little further away, but the jobs here are just as important to Canadians as the jobs in other tariff-affected sectors. I keep searching for the correct way to get the attention of Ottawa. We're showing up more in person, we're doing more media, we're joining together with industry, we're sharing information, and yet we still have days like today where softwood just doesn't even make the list.
The Premier is responding to $1.5 billion in support for the steel, copper and aluminum industries. EB says he keeps trying to figure out why softwood lumber gets treated differently from other industries receiving support. He says it is unfair. U.S. tariffs are decimating the industry, and it needs as much help as industries closer to Ottawa. The province will be testing its emergency alert system this week on TVs, radios and phones. That sound and get a notification on Wednesday afternoon at 1:55. The system warns of emergency situations like fires, floods, tsunamis, and extreme heat. In order to receive alerts on your phone, it must be on and connected to an LTE cellular network. It cannot be on airplane or do not disturb mode. Wednesday's alert is part of Emergency Preparedness Week.
20 degrees in Victoria under blue skies right now. A little cooler than it was over the weekend when we had record-setting heat across the island. There were a couple spots that broke records today, though. We'll update you on that. Take a look ahead to the week, the rest of the weekend weather right after the break.
Well, Josh, we're coming off a sizzling weekend, and we had some records today as well.
Yeah, not for Victoria, although we did get within a couple degrees of the record. But look at these current temperatures. Nanaimo's at 29, 30 in Port Alberni. We've actually dropped to 19 now at the airport in Victoria. We'll have to watch the university temperatures. They got up to 26 at UVic. It looks like that may be a record, but at the airport, we're going to end up just under 2 degrees shy. Nanaimo, though, 29.0. That breaks the old record from 1980 by 2.5 degrees and 3 full degrees warmer than the previous record high in Port Alberni, 30.6 earlier in the day today. Clear skies thanks to this big upper ridge, this bubble of warm air that's sitting over top of us. That heat was, I think the peak of it was through the past weekend. It'll start to slip off to the south. We'll see temperatures get gradually a little bit cooler here over the next few days. You might see a few scattered showers or a little bit of drizzle along parts of the west coast tomorrow, but Victoria looks awfully dry, not just for the next couple of days, but for the next 5 to 10 days. There may be no significant precipitation. Breezy in the north tomorrow after some morning fog patches. Gusts tomorrow are going to be about 40 kilometers per hour, get to a high of 17. 14s for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with the chance of some showers in the north. Friday, Saturday, western parts of the island, a chance of some scattered showers as well. Otherwise, it looks pretty dry. Sunshine, 28 for inland areas tomorrow, up to 23 and 21 Wednesday, Thursday. So you can see temperatures do cool pretty significantly mid to the end of this week, but even 19 and 18 Friday, Saturday is still right around or slightly above average. Out of the west coast, windy tomorrow, gusts to about 50 or 60 kilometers per hour. Mostly cloudy for most areas. A couple spots might see a little bit of drizzle tomorrow or Wednesday. Highs of 16 Tuesday, Wednesday. Another chance of showers on Friday. Comox sunshine for the next couple of days. 22 tomorrow, 21 Wednesday, and then back into the teens to close the week. So back a little closer to average. But again, even there, 18s are still a couple degrees above average. 23 in Nanaimo tomorrow. That's a lot cooler than today's 29, but still 7 degrees above average. Just to give you an idea of how far above average it was. We were about 10 degrees above average through the weekend in Victoria. 21 in the forecast for tomorrow, so a degree warmer than today. Mainly sunny skies. Wind out of the southwest around 20 kilometers per hour. Get to about 20 again with some sunshine on Wednesday. And here's your cool down, 17, 18, 19 for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's still, as we said, slightly warmer than average, 16 degrees, the average daytime high. So not quite as hot as it was over the weekend, but still well above average for the next couple of days, Nafisa, and dry conditions persisting for the next little while as well. I think at least the next 5 to 10 days. By the way, long-range forecast, I think we might get back into some heat early next week as well. So we'll talk more about that later in the week.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that. Thanks, Josh. An incident at Vancouver's International Airport has raised alarm bells after someone got past security and accessed an airplane. CTV's Andrew Johnson has more.
It happened here behind me, not far from where planes are taking off and landing on the runway. If we zoom in, you can see the spot that early this morning was crawling with police. That small white structure that appears to have windows in it, you can see it is very close to where the passenger jets are parked. Richmond RCMP say they responded at 4 a.m. after getting a report someone, and these are the RCMP's words, accessed an aircraft without authorization. Porter Airlines has confirmed to CTV News it was one of their planes involved and that someone had climbed into the wheel well. The airport and police have not revealed what that person may have been trying to accomplish. The airport authority says the suspect got onto the apron area by climbing over a fence and that they were arrested within minutes. This comes less than a year after another bizarre arrest near the runway last July. A man who had booked a flying lesson in Victoria took control of the plane and ended up circling YVR before landing and being taken into custody. He has since pleaded guilty to terrorism-related charges. YVR says says today there were no delays or cancellations because of this, but we are left with plenty of questions. Both RCMP and YVR declined interview requests. YVR says all safety protocols were followed, but that airport officials are still working with RCMP to review what happened.
Panic at sea tonight after a deadly outbreak of the suspected and rare Hantavirus on board a cruise ship. 3 people are dead and several others are ill. 4 Canadians are among the nearly 150 passengers and crew. The vessel is now in lockdown, anchored off the west coast of Africa. CTV's John Venavelli-Rao reports.
Deck 4 is where the lobby is.
In a video posted at the start of the voyage, an American travel blogger took his followers on a tour of the cruise ship, now stuck, unable to dock and to unload passengers amid a suspected Hantavirus outbreak.
And what's happening right now is very real for all of us here.
In a new, tearful video, the blogger talks about the fears on board after 3 passengers died.
There's a lot of uncertainty, and that's the hardest part.
Among the 149 on the ship are 4 Canadians, currently anchored off the coast of the capital of Cabo Verde, where officials won't allow the cruise ship to dock to, quote, protect public health.
It's one of those diseases that at the moment there's no specific treatment to cure the disease after someone becomes infected, and there isn't also a vaccine available to prevent people from getting infected.
The ship was on a cruise from Argentina and stopping at remote islands in the South Atlantic. 3 weeks ago, a 70-year-old Dutch passenger died, and after leaving the ship, so did his wife. Then a British man evacuated to this hospital in South Africa tested positive for Hantavirus. And a 3rd German passenger died on Saturday. 2 crew members still on board also have acute respiratory symptoms and will be removed for medical care. Hantaviruses are rare, mainly transmitted through contact with rodents or their droppings. It's what killed the wife of actor Gene Hackman last year. Symptoms can take weeks to appear, and human-to-human transmission is not common.
So it's very rare for hantaviruses. In fact, the only hantaviruses that are known to cause human-to-human transmission originate from South America, and in particular areas like Argentina.
In a statement, a WHO official stressed the risk to the wider public remains low. There is no need for panic or travel restrictions.
Meanwhile, experts say there are only, on average, about 4 to 5 cases of hantavirus in Canada each year, typically linked to rodent exposures in rural parts of the western provinces. John Venavelli-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
Coming up, healing music. Adam finds out why a musician is so grateful for a song he thought he'd never be able to perform. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
See it happen. Send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
107.3 Virgin Radio is Victoria's #1 hit music station. Home of Bailey and Johnny in the morning. Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to 107.3 Virgin Radio everywhere.
Finally, Adam finds out how a musician who lost the ability to perform wrote a song inspiring others to never give up hope on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
Well, it's not unusual for Martin Mayer to be welcomed by so many fans at his international concerts. The pianist never expected to see this particular picture promoting one of them.
I go, why is Paul McCartney on my poster?
Turns out the local promoters just wanted a generic picture of a guitarist and didn't realize they'd picked a former Beatle.
I thought it was awesome. My picture is bigger than Paul McCartney's, so, obviously I must have made it somehow.
Martin had more than made it. Being a headlining musician was the realization of a childhood dream, which is why what happened in the airport shuttle was a nightmare.
Shuttle slams on the brakes. I fly hands forward into my luggage. This was no longer this, it was like that.
But instead of recovering the way his doctors expected, Martin was left with crippling and unrelenting pain, which made playing impossible.
For me, if there is no music, there is no life.
So, after enduring more than 4 years of failing treatments, Martin felt like every day was like this foggy day.
This eternal fog that had no light, no way of lifting.
No hope.
You know, it was just so...
He'd lost his sense of self and his will to live.
Yeah.
But Martin didn't give up and didn't back down.
You have to be your best advocate. Yeah. When somebody says, we don't know what this is, I said, fine, thank you, next.
And although it took 233 appointments, 21 specialists, and major surgery, Martin can finally play again. While the song was inspired by this painting he made in art therapy, after being asked to visualize how he hoped his health journey would end, Martin hopes it encourages you to keep moving through your foggiest of days until you find your own bright new beginning.
You find that hope again, and at the end of it, it's that feeling of like, okay, I've made it.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Burnaby.
That is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night.